Hey guys, so today I am going to be showing you my updated foundation routine. My skin has really changed since my last foundation routine video. I had a lot of issues getting my skin to look, my makeup to look nice. It looked like every time I wore makeup, my nose, like everything that I put on my nose would like separate, and it would like, I would have all these dry patches and it would just look terrible. But then I tried out this foundation in a full face of LA Colors and I fell in love with it and it's amazing. So I wanted to show you guys, and I figured out a perfect routine with this foundation that I love, and this is all Drugstore. So yeah, I wanted to share with you guys how I got my skin to look nice with makeup again. The first thing that I do before I do anything is I use my Tinkle eyebrow razor, and I just go along my face with little strokes like this. I already did it, so I'm not showing you, but that's why I'm not doing it. But I go down on my face with this and it shaves any peach fuzz off of my skin, and it just leaves it super smooth. And on my nose it's like crazy because as I'm going down like this in light strokes, I don't press down hard because you can cut yourself, but it just takes off all of the dead skin all around my face, and you can literally see it coming off. It looks like white, it looks like you're shredding white cheese. It's disgusting, but it gets all of the dead skin, the dry dead skin off of my face. And then I go in with, I'm back to using my Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I used this a few years ago, and then for some reason I started using different skincare, and I just went back to this and I love it. It's my exfoliating cleanser, and that helps exfoliate off some like any other dead skin, and it just helps obviously wash my face. And then I go in and I use my Dickinson's original pore perfecting toner, witch hazel toner, and I just love this stuff. I also have the hydrating one, and that one's pretty good, but I've been using that one recently because I feel like it's gonna help get everything out of my pores and really cleanse my skin. And then for moisturizer, I use my daily moisturizing lotion from Cerave, and this is just a great moisturizer. And then I use my Milani SPF BFF primer. This is a face primer, like a makeup primer, but I use it as skincare because it's really great to have sunscreen on your face to protect it from the sun, and also it leaves me with a very beautiful glowy finish, and I just love it. So I use this also, and I did this about like an hour ago, and everything's really synced in. I try to do it as early as possible so that way everything can sink into the skin and everything. But that is a pretty good routine for me and what I've been doing, so that way my makeup actually looks nice and smooth. And I found that my skincare that I do before any products that I put on my skin is like the most important thing. It's just as important as the products that I put on top of it. So yeah, so then let's just get into this. So right before I do any makeup, I use my Pixie hydrating milky mist. I absolutely love this stuff, and I use this because my skin is kind of moisturized. It's all synced in, but it's not as moisturized as I want it to be, and this really helps it look even better. So I use this on my skin before I do any of my makeup. So then once I have that on my skin and it's mostly dry, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams putty primer, and I absolutely love this. I use this every time I do my makeup. It just helps with any leftover dry patches. It smooths out the skin and makes it helps make the makeup look even more smooth, and I just absolutely love it. So this is my absolute favorite primer ever. I cannot go without one of these e.l.f. putty primers or a smoothing primer in general. I just love it. Just helps make the makeup look so smooth, and if there's any dry patches left, it just smooths over them. And then for foundation today, I'm going to use the LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation. I know, dry skincare routine with a matte foundation, but I absolutely love this. This is so good. With a good skincare routine, this foundation looks amazing. I used this in my full face of LA Colors, and it just looked so amazingly great. I just absolutely loved it. And it didn't separate on my nose like I had problems. Like, I wouldn't even do this full routine and then go in with a dewy foundation and it would still separate on my nose and look really weird, but this foundation does not do that. It looks so good. It leaves like this beautiful photo finish like effect. It like is like a soft matte finish, and I just love it. So I'm gonna use some of that foundation and I just dot it all over my face. I always do dots like this and then go in and blend it out. And I try not to use too much, and then I love using my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge to blend this in. I barely ever use a brush, because if I use a brush, it just leaves like brush strokes all over my face, and it doesn't look as smooth on the skin as when I use a sponge. And this is my absolute favorite sponge. I have repurchased this a couple of times. I just love it. I've been more into the matte kind of finish because of it's coming into fall, and I just feel like it kind of suits that, like a full coverage matte finish. But this foundation also lasts like amazing. So yeah, that's the other reason why I love it. Like, I can use this, use some powder, and I can touch my face with my makeup on and it doesn't slide off. And then for concealer, I'm using the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. Mostly just under my eyes. I don't really like to add anywhere else because the nose, it looks nice. I don't want it to cake up or anything, so I just use it underneath my eyes and on my spots just to further cover those. And that was just one little pump of that. And then I just like to go in and blend that out. I like that more dewy finish on the eyelids, which is why I'm using more of a dewier, like hydrating concealer, because it helps give it like that more natural finish. And then my nose doesn't look dry or cakey. It looks pretty good and smooth, and it's not like separating on my nose or anything. It looks really nice. So then I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I still love this powder, and with this routine, it just helps make it look even more smooth when I use this powder. I just take some of it into the lid, and then I use my sponge and I dip it into the powder, and I just press that down on my under eyes with that sponge, and this just helps give it even more of that soft matte effect, and it looks really, really good. And then I do that on my nose as well. And this powder, I think this powder adds a little bit of coverage as well, which is really nice to get that full coverage effect. And then I just press this down all over my skin to set the foundation. This also helps keep those spots covered when you press it down with the sponge. And then to highlight my under eyes, I like to use my LA Colors Show It Off Blush and Highlighter Palette. And this shade right here. And my Real Techniques setting brush. And I just like to add this underneath my eyes sometimes to give that nice bright effect. And I don't know if my camera was recording or not, but I used my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder and my e.l.f. blending brush just to set the sides of my nose and add the coverage in there that it needs so that it's not red in the corners of my nose, because sometimes, like my sponge doesn't really get in those corners. And then I also go on all of my major acne spots just to cover them. I missed some over here, so I'll show you it right here. And it just adds that extra coverage that it needs. And since it's literally a foundation and a powder, and it's just awesome. So then I'm going to bronze up my face. I'm going to use my Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder Palette. And I use the lightest shade right here. This is a really nice neutral bronzer shade. And I just use that to bronze up my face. And my favorite bronzing brush is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH02 brush. And then sometimes if I want to get more of that sculpted look underneath my bronzer, I just take that shade in the LA Colors palette again and the Real Techniques setting brush, and I just go underneath that bronzer just to chisel that out. And then I'm going to use my NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte Blush in the shade Rose and Play. It's the most perfect shade for the cheeks. It's just so natural. And I'm going to use my Morphe JH04 brush and just use that also. And I like to angle the brush down like this with the blush and just bring it upwards because it further like chisels out the cheeks and gives that nice like lifted effect. And then for a highlighter, I'm going to use my Milani Stellar Lights highlighter palette, and in the shade Rose Glow, and I'm using the nice white shade right here. And I'm just going to highlight my face with that. And just like the blush, I only take it on the side right here to keep that lifted effect on the cheeks. And this is a stunning highlighter. It's so pretty and blinding. And then take that on the tip of my nose and on my upper lip right here. And I go in my big e.l.f. powder brush and I just go over those cheek products just to make sure they're nice and blended together and not too harsh. And then to finish off the foundation routine, I'm using, I've been loving this Milani Make It Last setting spray. I got this a while ago and it seems like I used a lot of it, but I didn't remember it being that nice. But now I am in love with it because I can spray my face with it and it actually makes my makeup last. So I just love it. And yeah, I'm just gonna spray my face with this, but sometimes it's like a little bit of a crazy spray. So sometimes I like shoot too much all over my face and I'm like in a swimming pool of setting spray, but let's try not to do that this time. Okay, and then I'm just going to go finish off the rest of my makeup, like do my brows, add some mascara and a lip, and I will be right back. Wanna do my outro with me? Yeah? We do it together? Yes! You're so cute. Okay. That's it. Okay, so this is the completed foundation routine. I really love this foundation routine. It's really, really pretty. And yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.